One man who suffered on the side of truth in raising the issues with regard to the unwholesome spendings in the House of Representatives, that is the 6th House of Representatives, is Dino Melaye. He incidentally was also one of the 37 wise men who led Dimeji Bankole and the House astray in the recommendations for the increase in the allowances of the House of Representatives members. Dino, as he's popularly called, is my guest on Democracy Today. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, good day, viewers.
Maybe we'll just go straight to the issue.
Yeah.
Of the allegations. Let's begin from the first allegations of the increments in or over bloated costs in the items that you raised, the cars and the other items, 18,000 naira for torchlights and the others.
Yeah, maybe before I go into that, I want to correct an erroneous expression you created during your introductory
you were one of the
remarks that led Bankole astray. I want to say that that is completely not true.
We will come to that because it's an issue that I have.
It was in your intro, so yes, it's good.
Yes, I want us to begin with.
It's good. I correct that the 37-man committee did not lead the speaker astray. And the truth of the matter is that the speaker misinformed the EFCC and the courts. Basically, what happened was that in 2008 and 2009, there's an account called the General Services Account of the House of Representatives. And the monies allocated for members, for medicals, for travels and exchange, for training and retraining and all that, were squandered on frivolous items and incessant travelings of Mr. Speaker. There is no speaker in the history of the National Assembly that spent so much on traveling around the globe like Dimeji Bankole. And I want to tell you that
he went outside
the rate at which he traveled, you begin to ask if he's the supervisor of the world. I mean, if he's a universal supervisor. And because of that, money is meant for other issues. The medicals of members, even when you have genuine medical situations, there's no fund to cater for your medication. So we raised an issue in an executive section of the House and said that, instead of squandering this money, in 2010, let this money be given to members. If you want to go to school, your medication, and every other thing, you take care of it. So if the media has come out to tell Nigerians that the money borrowed was spent on members' allowances, I stand on good authority to say it is not true.
Okay,
this matter is in court. It may be prejudicial for me to make comments on it.
Yeah, we are happy that you are here.
Yeah, but the truth of the matter is that the money that was borrowed, I challenge anyone to say that it was not spent on members.
Okay, let's look at the issue first.
Yeah.
You are one of the 37 members. I was from the states that were picked.
I was the chairman of that committee.
You were the chairman of that committee.
Yeah, that discovered that the money was used for the monies of the House of 2008 and 2009 was squandered. And as a result of that, we insisted this time around and said that, we will not allow the speaker to run that account.
Let us take it one after the other so that the listeners can get it very clearly. It is not a dispute. You are a member, in fact, the leader of the 37.
Sure.
They call them wise men now.
Sure.
Now, the meeting that held on the 1st of June in the Asokoro residence of the speaker, you were there.
I was not there. I've never visited the Asokoro residence of the speaker.
At what meeting? Where did the meeting took place? Where the 37 members, and
I want to assure you that there was no such meeting.
There was no such meeting.
And there was no member of the 37-man committee that sat with the speaker in the Asokoro residence. That's fallacious, that's malicious, that is not true.
Now, as at the time the decisions were taken for monies that were meant for medicals and other sundry allowances that were hitherto blown up, that they should be paid, the monies for the budget for 2 quarters, first and second quarters, have been released. Am I correct?
No. I'm speaking with every sincerity of purpose of heart and commitment, because the truth of the matter is that we have no any other country to call ours apart from this country. Every member of the House retire every kobo he gets. You will recall that I was in a press conference when I was paid some money about a month ago. I addressed the media and I told them that I am rejecting that money. And why was I rejecting the money they wanted to pay me then is because the source of the money
was suspect.
The source of the money, my allowances, remuneration, and salaries, when I was suspended, was supposed to be kept in a suspect's account. Yeah. After a period of 3 or 4 months, you take it back to the treasury. So when we are recalled as members, it is just a matter of recalling it back to the Accountant General of the Federation, back to the National Assembly, and for onward payment. But while we were on suspension, checks were raised in our names and kept in the vote. For some time between November and December, the Meji came and purchased those checks and squandered them. And squandered the whole money. And when they were now ready to pay us, they went and took loans from that was one of the... They took loans from First Bank to pay us. I now raise an objection. That this is, as far as I'm concerned, this is double taxation on the part of Nigerian taxpayers. Because that money was provided for in the 2010 budget. It was not returned to Treasury. Where is that money? And now that you are now paying me with a borrowed money at the expense of government, at the expense of taxpayers. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. That is, you are now making provision for that payment twice. It is on that premise that I rejected that money. It was a situation in the National Assembly, and I raised an alarm that the Speaker must provide the money that was the original that was allocated in the budget for us.
Let's go back to the question I raised.
Yeah.
Were there allowances that the 37 members and eventually the House, principal officers, agreed should be paid in arrears?
Let me.
I want that thing clear.
Let me clear that.
Because the clerk of the House of Representatives have told the EFCC that those monies were paid in arrears against his advice.
It's not true. If the clerk said that, then I can be volunteer testifier in court that it's not true. And that is why I'm saying that there was no need for borrowing. Because everything that was done to the benefit of members in the House was done within the provision of the 2010 budget.
Including the increase of their...
I will not say increase. I will say the collapse of some subheads. Collapse of some subheads in the sense that the medical subhead of the House of Representatives is at the discretion of the Speaker. If you are his friend, whether you are sick or not, he can send you to America, send you to anywhere. If he feels like he said, okay, he wants to go to America to remove his tooth, he goes, he travels. If he likes, he goes with anybody he wants to travel with. So we now raised that the manner at which this money was being squandered. Bring this money to the table.
And collapse.
Listen, bring this money, this subheads that is supposed to be to the benefit of the members, bring it to the table. Democratize it.
Collapse it.
Let every member now, whether if you are dying or you are there, go and take care of yourself. That was what happened.
Was that
all that?
Just before you go, was that what raised the take home now from 27 million to 42 million? I just want to be clear.
Yeah, because if you are the 42 million you are mentioning, maybe it's your own personal figure. So what? It's your figure. Because
of the clerk, they are all trading.
Anyway, the truth of the matter is this: when we decided to say, okay, for our training, for our travels and exchange, I decided I was going to go back to school. And I got a form in the University of Abuja to run a program, a master's in policy analysis, and I got the admission. And I said, okay, whatever I get from my medical and all that was collapsed. I want to go to school. And I went back to school. I just finished my second semester and final exams last week. So many other people went for training and retraining. Some went on medication who had complicated problems. We naturally wouldn't have gotten that many because the Speaker was misappropriating it. On good authority, I can say that.
Are you saying that?
So what I'm saying in essence is that there was no need for borrowing because the collapse that was done, was done within the provision of the 2010 budget.
Maybe slightly.
But you know what happened? But you know where they ran into trouble?
They have spent the money.
You know where they ran into trouble? Even before CBN released the first and second quarter, they had gone to bank borrowing in anticipation
of the next allowance.
And he borrowed this money, I am telling you today, without even the consent of the principal officers. For example, all the meetings that held, Femi Gbadebo was not there. Anybody to